Oh snap, we got a new jersey. What's going on, guys? It's Neil here from Post to Post. Thanks for joining me today. And whoa, just noticed wrong colors for the background. We're talking Minnesota. Let me get my phone out here. Got to change these colors. Let's get some green action going on. There we go. Get some green in the background. We're talking Minnesota Wild. We got a new jersey. Didn't think we'd see it this early. We knew it was coming, but it's September. Barely. How have we seen this already? It's amazing. And then the St. Louis one is going to be announced in 3 days, I think it is. What a good week. What a good week for jersey collectors and fans of jerseys in general. So let's take a deep dive to this Minnesota Wild Winter Classic jersey. We'll look at all the details up close and form some opinions. And I have some opinions that are already informed. What? Formed? I have opinions that are formed, is what I'm trying to say. I have no education behind this jersey. I didn't read their press conference. I don't know what's going on. I'm looking at this unbiasedly and objectively and kind of talking about what I like, what I don't like, and kind of theorizing on some decisions behind it. So let's bring it up and take a deep dive. I'm going to start with the first picture that they posted, which is a side-on of the right side of the jersey. So we can see the number, we can see the shoulder patch, we can barely see the front logo, we can see the stripes on the arms, the logo on the pants, even though pants aren't a part of this video, but I got to talk about the uniform. I can't not talk about this uniform. The first thing I want to say is that this jersey, in my opinion, instantly gets better because of the uniform. You can't say that for every jersey that comes out. The gloves, amazing. Love the gloves. I like the gloves more than the jersey. The pants are pretty cool as well. I like the little logo of the state of hockey there on the pants. I see a lot of people memeing on that since they haven't really won a cup, and maybe they shouldn't classify that as you know, as the state of hockey, but you know, it's not up for me to decide. I like the pants. I like that little logo down there. So let's look at the jersey itself. What can we see here? We can see probably the shoulder patch. Let's talk about the shoulder patch first, and then we'll wait till the next photo to talk about the other stuff. So it's hard to see, but still, it looks basically like every other Winter Classic shoulder patch for the most part. The Chicago versus Boston one was a very unique one, so I felt like that one stood out. But this one feels very generic, so not really much to say there. The font chosen for the numbers, I think, is fine. I don't love it, don't hate it. I have really no opinion on it. The stripes on the arms are fine. I don't like or dislike those either. I think they're just okay. The specific shade of green that was chosen, I think, is excellent. The shoulders themselves are interesting. They are not the typical, like, they're not as wide. They don't come down the front as much, I feel, or the back. They're very thin and they come down. So that is definitely different than what we've seen and what we're used to. I don't know if I really like or dislike that either. It's just kind of one of those things, more of an observation. I want to go to the next photo because that's where I have most of what I want to say. So we get a good look at the logo here in this next photo. I really thought that we were going to get like a big, chunky Minnesota state outline with the MIN in there, or MN. I didn't realize that we were getting a text around it. I didn't even really think about that. So it kind of threw me for a loop a little bit when I first saw it. I kind of like the St. Paul underneath. I like the stars on the outside of these, the state outline there. I don't know if I really like that MPLS on the top. Obviously, it's representative, but still, there's just a lot going on. It's quite busy in the middle. But if you think about what this game is, it's the Winter Classic. Winter Classic jerseys are supposed to be designed or inspired by original jerseys from the NHL, and in those original jerseys you see a lot of text and it's not pretty, right? It's just you put something on a jersey because you have to, and that's basically it. Kind of feels like this in a way. So I think they did an okay job on the logo. It's not, I think they could have done a way better job on this jersey in general, I'll just say that, but I think they did an okay job kind of representing that classic brand. I see a lot of comments on that stripe above, and I tend to agree. I saw a Photoshop version of this jersey with that stripe removed. It looked way better, and the C moved down. The C is very high. That's a high C, okay? And not only is it a high C, it's a very squished C, so it feels unnatural and out of place. So I would be heavily in favor of removing the stripe up here. It's not like it hasn't been used before. I think Boston used it on a Winter Classic jersey, or a jersey, I can't remember exactly. The Chicago Blackhawks have used that vertical stripe in the middle or around the jersey in multiple areas. So it's not like we haven't seen it before. It does feel classic, but it just feels so out of place on this jersey in my opinion. So get rid of that. Move the C down, expand the C so it actually matches, you know, the general height distance or height kind of like, I don't know the right word. What's the right word? Can't think of it. The same like orientations. I can't think of it of the numbers. So they don't match. They look out of place. So the neck is amazing. I love that. That's one of my favorite things that the NHL and Adidas do on the Winter Classic jerseys is go with that more sweater style neck. That's fantastic. And what else can we see in here? We can see the shoulders a little bit better as well, but I want to go to my biggest gripe, which is the next photo. Let's bring it up. This is the photo that was posted when you actually go to buy the jersey on the NHL store. So we can see what we normally see here, but we also see the back of the jersey. And what do we see in the back of the jersey? Band-Aids. That's what I see. And it just looks, I don't want to be offensive, but it looks ridiculous. I hate it. Okay, I hate it. I want it gone, and I just hate it. I hate it so much. I understand the decision behind it, but I don't even know if original jerseys of this, you know, this classic brand, what they're trying to go back to, the original jerseys, I don't even know if they had those elbow protectors sewn on the outside. And if they did, I'm sure they weren't off-colored like that. So, again, not educated here. I don't know the reasoning behind a lot of this. This is all kind of from an assumption basis, but I don't like that at all. It feels out of place even though it's supposed to feel in place. To me, it just feels out of place. I want it gone. There's another photo I found, and it shows it a little bit better. You can see that it just looks out of place. I don't know what else to say. I despise it. I hate it, and I want it gone. It's enough to make me not consider buying this jersey. And I don't even know if I like it enough to buy this jersey. As a whole, I'd probably give this jersey maybe a 6 out of 10. I'm thinking maybe a 6 out of 10. It'll probably look a lot better on the ice. Like I said, I really like this jersey with the uniform, more so than by itself. But I think one of the coolest things about the jersey, or the thing that I noticed first actually in the entire jersey, because it doesn't really happen a lot on specialty jerseys, is, well, I'm going to show you this one first. Okay, so this is the Boston Bruins one. See, they used kind of like that vertical stripe up here, even though it's kind of integrated into the shoulders, so it looks way better than it does on that one. But here, see this NHL logo, and you see this little stitching that kind of comes down and crisscrosses there. I'll try to hold it up a little bit closer so you can see it. That's very typical on specialty jerseys like this. Usually we get laces as well on some specialty jerseys or alternates or whatever. But here we actually just have a floating logo, which kind of goes against the classic style of the nature of this jersey. And it feels a little awkward because the neck kind of comes down and it stops and it just goes straight across. It doesn't feel like that here. And it does technically come straight across here, but it just looks more natural, I think, because it blends in with this section here. So it matches the vertical line of the jersey of the front of the shoulders here, where on this, because that red section of the shoulders doesn't start here, it goes all the way up and starts, but then the neck comes down, and then it's just flat at the bottom, and then you just have this floating logo. To me, that's one of the strangest parts of the jersey. It's also one of the most interesting parts. So, although I don't like the harsh stop of the bottom of the neck, I kind of like the fact that it does have a bit of a floating logo without any stitching crossing on the sides of it, without any laces around it, without anything around it. It's just there. To me, that's kind of cool about the jersey. That makes it unique. So I know people are going to ask, and I guess I've kind of already said it in a previous part of the video, am I going to buy this jersey? Being around a 5 or a 6 out of 10, no. I'm not going to buy this jersey at full price. Yes, I'm going to buy this jersey when or if it goes on sale for less than $100. Minnesota has some of the best jerseys in the history of the NHL. They've knocked it out of the park numerous times on their jerseys throughout their history. But to me, this one is just slightly a miss. And I think more so because we saw so many concepts, so many Winter Classic concepts. Some good, some bad. But I would say the majority are better than this. So we live in a world where there seems to be almost more talented concept or jersey designers who are out there making these designs, trying to break into the industry, doing a better job than maybe the people in the industry. Now, here's something to consider. there could be a very, very talented concept designer, graphic designer, jersey designer, whatever you want to classify them as, within the Minnesota Wild, within whoever made this jersey, marketing firm, whatever. But I know from being in the industry that the first design, or the design that the designer wants, has to go through multiple rounds of criticism from people who know nothing about design and just want this because, you know what, I'm the CEO, I'm the boss, that's what I want because I think that looks good. I just think it looks good, so we're going to go with that. I know you have a design background, okay? I know you're talented, your work is awesome, but I make the final decision, so we're going to go my way. That happens way more often in the industry than you think. And I'm not just talking about jerseys. I'm talking about everything. Pepsi cans and movie posters and whatever. Whoever designs it usually does not have final say 98% of the time. It's a manager, it's a CEO, it's someone who wants what he wants. And so what we're seeing right now may be the decision of someone who is unqualified to give graphical or design decisions. But that's the world we live in. So I can't get mad at the designer who designed this jersey because it might not be their fault. So I forgive them, assuming that's the situation, and we'll move on from here. Hey, St. Louis is coming out with their version of the Winter Classic jersey in 3 days. I'm excited for it. They've already posted teasers on Twitter. Go check them out. And if you want to see my reaction, my thoughts to that St. Louis Blues jersey, please hit the subscribe button down below. We're going to do another deep dive on that jersey as soon as it's announced, probably on Saturday, the day after. I think it's coming up on Fridays when they're releasing it, so I'll do the video on Saturday. But yeah, that is the plan, and I'm gonna go in heavy, and I've got high expectations for St. Louis, way higher expectations than I do for Minnesota. So I'm a little nervous for the St. Louis Blues jersey release, but I have high hopes. I think they're gonna do okay, but I'm still a little bit nervous. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. Hope you have a great day. Hit the subscribe button down below so you can join me for that future video, and I'll talk to you in the future. Adios.